Fiston's second experience is a little frightful, scary. He had a dream, this nightmarish dream where some evil people came and attacked him. In fact, they attacked him with razor blades, and they cut his throat. So he was afraid that they would cut the jugular vein, the main vein that if they cut, he would die. So they actually butchered him in a very bad way. And then on turning around, he realized that there was a blade. There was another blade lying somewhere in nearby. So he picked it up and, in fact, cut the throat of one of the people, cut to death, and startled by this dream, he got up, and then when he got up, he tried to change this dream using a technique to change the elements of the dream, and then but then this dream manifested on the physical by the problems he had. His car was after the musical performance where he had got some decent money coming in. So his car was bashed, destroyed in a horrible way, and he just realized that the proceeds from his musical performance would go again to repairing his car, instead of maybe using it for some benefit even to the new community. The money that he's got will go back again to solve a problem that was probably unwarranted. So what he wants to know is there a way that he can be, that when we have this kind of problem, this kind of attacks on the real side, that they can be somehow prevented from manifesting physically, like it happened to him with this attack by this let me say psychic criminals with blades. And Fiston's dream real side experience really makes me scared, because I had a kind of dream like that where people came to attack me as they were some held one held a short axe, the other a cutlass. There were about 3 or 4 or 5 of them. But what startled me, like in Fiston's experience, was the last person who held a blade. My God, that it seems I was not afraid of the short axe and the other, but upon seeing the person holding the blade, really made me scared, and I jumped up. I stopped. I woke up to look at my surroundings, and I sang the Nu for a short while before falling asleep again. So it seems this blade attack is something very frightful. I don't know whether it's a pattern with other people, because that is what made me very frightened in my dream. Even though there were people in front with short axes and cutlasses, that didn't frighten me as much as the blade. And the blade which was used to cut through Fiston's neck, until he was afraid that they would cut the main vein and then he would give up the ghost. So what can you say about this, Duane? How can we prevent these negative experiences from translating into the physical? Even when we try to change them, they still manifest in this kind of disastrous way.
Okay, this is fun. Thank you very much for sharing. And, well, first of all, you could buy really good insurance, but just kidding. Also, referring to the car, it's okay to drive a really bad piece of junk car, because then you can take the money and purchase one of our new T-shirts that says "Walk with Rebazar." Okay, so that first came to me when he was sharing the experience, but I was just giggling because of that. I was just kidding. So, yeah, we go through these things. I go through it too. And so his experience where they're trying to cut, in other words, his vocal cords from speaking about the new presentation. And that's what you're dealing with too. And this is just how it is in creation. And prevention, okay? The best prevention, again, is to take the risk to become more aware and pay attention to what's really going on in this world, and not be in la-la land in your mind thinking that this or that. I don't look for protection from the guides. I take the risk, just like a soldier out there. You know, things happen, but the guides are there, the boys are there, but again, you got to figure it out also. So it's always taking the risk. And so, but I see the value of that, and that is that what else has value here? Do you want to be safe all the time? Is that the idea? And is your safety, is it worth more than taking the risk to stand real and eventually be invincible and self-sufficient? Well, we all have to go through the process. And again, just like Chris went through boot camp, he had to go through the process. You know, he had to crawl under machine gun fire. Some of those kids, they raised their heads up and they died. They died in boot camp. There's been many that have, and unreported. And when they first go out there into the battle, into the confrontation, we're here to confront ourselves because of what we've created. And we've had to create all of this so that we can, again, compare and recognize the is. And if we don't do it, if we don't scare ourselves, shock ourselves, etc., then we don't wake up. So it's all part of it. So at what point will we do it? And this is where, again, the masses, for the most part, they hide away, thinking that there's some kind of security here, whether it's in religion or politics or having, guards at your door, whatever. Yeah, of course, you do the precautions. When it comes to prevention, that's different than precautions, isn't it? And so again, I've got a gate-guarded community right next to me. And maybe some people will think, well, this will prevent burglars from coming in. No, it won't. They can come in through helicopter or drones. They can be multidimensional, like the shape-shifting reptilians. It doesn't prevent anything. Nothing is prevented, you might say, but precautions can be put up. But the idea is that, yeah, it's going to take a while. It's going to take your whole life and many lifetimes to where you can stand real with the boys 100%. It ain't going to be in an instant. This is where we've been brought up with these ideas. This is in the consciousness, thinking that, okay, we're good guys now. We're with the new you. Okay, everything should be, I'm protected. I'm all this and that. Hey, it's all about your real awareness. It's all about what you decide every moment, you see? And so it's like this too. Yes, so you've come into the new you, and this is not a criticism, but it's an example, and say that you're popular or whatever, well, that's within your consciousness too. So, many people want to be popular, but they don't understand what popularity is, etc. So again, that's in the consciousness too, and the unconscious part of ourselves. And so you draw in things. Just like beautiful women out there that are models and whatever, they want to be popular, they want to make a lot of money, they want people to notice them. Well, they do from all angles, and especially in the astral worlds where many of these women are raped and molested and even destroyed. And that's what it comes to. So especially with this young man's experience, a part of it is that he's presenting the new you in his own way and demonstrating that. And so, yeah, they want to cut his throat. They don't want him to speak. And so by the very fact that he does the same to the others, you might say in a way that because of what he's presenting at a certain point, it shuts them up too. That's just simply a demonstration. So there's many ways to look at it. But I always look at it from the end result, and that is that why are we here? Again, we're here to recognize the is. Even though most of the world does not recognize that, that's their choice. They still make the choices, and it's always a hard choice. Yes, even when you are popular and you make a lot of money and you do all these things that you want to do, it is a hard choice to put in front of you, you might say, what is real and makes sense with the whole of life, as opposed to the personal popularity of yourself or what you're doing, etc. So yes, I've seen it before, and again, it's choice. A person can have whatever they want in life, and the end result will be what they've chosen. So I see this as a demonstration, again, and there's many ways to take it. And yes, you can try and change the situation, but as it becomes shocking to you, wow, you see something different, don't you? And I step into things to shock myself, and the little self is nervous. It's perplexed and bewildered. I get that, but I'm going to still keep going. I got to drag it along, and these things happen. So again, it's not about prevention. How can you prevent life from happening? How can you prevent creation from happening? You can't. Look at all around you outside. Can you prevent, people don't think about it because they don't see it. Can you prevent the nanotechnology that's affecting all of us? How are you going to prevent that? Going to wear a gas mask all the time, or wear aluminum over your head for the microwave so you can't see it all and bump into things? Is that prevention? See, it's not about that. It's about your real awareness, and it's about getting through this no matter what it takes. So again, everything's fine. Yes, thank you for sharing. There's a lot more to that, but he'll figure it out.